English grammar, tenses and usages with examples. Welcome to Accent English Language. Let's start. 1. Present simple tense. Usage to express habits, general truths, and fixed arrangements. Form, subject plus base form of the verb, add s for third person singular. Example: She walks to school every day. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. 2. Present continuous, progressive, tense. Usage to describe actions happening at the moment of speaking or temporary situations. Form, subject plus am is a plus verb plus ing. Example: I am reading a book right now. They are studying for their exams. 3. Present perfect tense. Usage to describe actions that happened at an unspecified time in the past or actions that started in the past and continue into the present. Form, subject plus have has plus past participle. Example: She has visited Paris several times. We have lived here for 5 years. 4. Present perfect continuous tense. Usage to describe actions that started in the past and are still continuing, focusing on the duration. Form, subject plus have has been plus verb plus ing. Example: I have been working on this project for hours. They have been waiting for the bus since morning. 5. Past simple tense. Usage to describe actions that happened and were completed in the past. Form, subject plus past form of the verb. Example: She visited London last year. They played football yesterday. 6. Past continuous tense. Usage to describe actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. Form, subject plus was verb plus verb plus ing. Example: I was reading a book at 8 p.m. yesterday. They were watching TV when I called. 7. Past perfect tense. Usage to describe actions that were completed before another action in the past. Form, subject plus had plus past participle. Example: She had left before I arrived. They had finished their homework by the time their mother came. 8. Past perfect continuous tense. Usage to describe an action that was happening before another action in the past, emphasizing the duration. Form, subject plus had been plus verb plus ing. Example: he had been working there for 2 years before he quit. They had been talking for hours before the meeting ended. 9. Future simple tense. Usage: to describe actions that will happen in the future. Form: subject plus will shall plus base form of the verb. Example: I will call you later. They will arrive tomorrow. 10. Future continuous tense. Usage: to describe actions that will be happening at a specific time in the future. Form: subject plus will be plus verb plus ing. Example: this time tomorrow, I will be flying to New York. She will be studying when you arrive. 11. Future perfect tense. Usage: to describe actions that will have been completed before a specific time in the future. Form: subject plus will have plus past participle. Example: by next week, I will have finished my report. They will have completed the project by Friday. 12. Future perfect continuous tense. Usage: to describe actions that will be ongoing up until a specific point in the future. Form: subject plus will have been plus verb plus ing. Example: by the end of this year, I will have been working here for 5 years. She will have been studying for 3 hours by the time you call. Here are additional details and examples for each of the tenses, along with more nuanced uses of these tenses in different contexts. 1. Present simple tense. Additional usages. Scheduled events, for fixed events or timetables. Stative verbs, verbs that describe a state, example: believe, know, love. Example: the train leaves at 6 p.m. She believes in hard work. 2. Present continuous, progressive tense. Additional usages. Future plans, to talk about future arrangements. Temporary actions, actions that are not permanent but happening around the present moment. Example: we are meeting John tomorrow. I am staying with my parents for a week. 3. Present perfect tense. Additional usages. Life experiences, to talk about experiences without specifying when they happened. Unfinished time periods, for actions in a time period that has not yet ended, today, this week, this year. Example: have you ever been to Japan? I have eaten lunch today. 4. Present perfect continuous tense. Additional usages. Recent continuous actions, actions that have recently finished but have visible results. Repeated actions, for actions that have been repeated over a period of time. Example: she has been crying, her eyes are red. He has been calling me every day. 5. Past simple tense. Additional usages. Specific time, used with a specific time reference in the past, yesterday, last year, in 1999. Sequential actions, for a sequence of events in the past. Example: I finished my homework last night. They got up, ate breakfast, and left the house. 6. Past continuous tense. Additional usages. Interrupted actions describes an action that was interrupted by another action. Background actions provides context or background for another action in the past. Example: I was sleeping when the phone rang. She was cooking while he was watching TV. 7. Past perfect tense. Additional usages. Cause and effect, to show the cause of a later action. Reported speech, common in indirect speech. Example: she was late because she had missed the bus. He said that he had visited Paris. 8. Past perfect continuous tense. Additional usages. Focus on duration, emphasizes the duration of an activity before a certain time in the past. Example: we had been waiting for an hour before the bus arrived. She had been feeling unwell for days before going to the doctor. 9. Future simple tense. Additional usages. Spontaneous decisions, for decisions made at the moment of speaking. Promises and offers, to make promises, offers, or predictions. Example: I will help you with that. Don't worry, I will call you later. 10. Future continuous tense. Additional usages. Polite inquiries, to make polite inquiries about someone's plans. Planned ongoing actions, used for planned actions happening at a specific moment in the future. Example: will you be attending the meeting tomorrow? At 9 a.m. tomorrow, I will be driving to work. 11. Future perfect tense. Additional usages. Future achievements, to talk about something that will be completed by a certain point in the future. Example: by next month, I will have graduated from university. She will have written the report by the end of the day. 12. Future perfect continuous tense. Additional usages. Focus on the duration in the future to stress how long an action will have been happening by a future time. Example: by the end of this year, I will have been working here for 10 years. Next month, they will have been living in this house for 5 years. Additional considerations. 1. Stative versus action verbs. Some verbs, called stative verbs, are rarely used in continuous forms because they describe states rather than actions. Examples: know, believe, like, belong, own. Incorrect. I am knowing the answer. Correct. I know the answer. 2. Present continuous verses. Present simple. Use the present continuous for actions happening right now or around now, while the present simple is used for habitual actions. Example: I am working on a new project now. I work at a bank habitually. 3. Future forms. While will is common for future actions, you can also use the present continuous and going to talk about future plans or intentions. Example: I am meeting my friend tomorrow. Fixed plan. I am going to travel next week. Intention. 4. Time expressions. Different tenses often require specific time expressions. Present perfect: just, already, yet, ever, never, recently. Past simple: yesterday, last week, in 2000, an hour ago. Future simple: tomorrow, next week, soon, in a few days. Let's dive deeper into the nuances of each tense, including the use of time expressions, common mistakes, and advanced usages. I'll also cover conditional sentences and passive voice forms for a comprehensive understanding. Present simple tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: always, often, sometimes, rarely, never, every day, usually, on Mondays, etc. Common mistakes. Incorrect. He go to school every day. Correct. He goes to school every day. Third person singular. Advanced usage. Exclamatory sentences. Here comes the bus. There goes the bell. Conditional clauses: if, when, plus present simple. If it rains, we'll stay inside. Present continuous, progressive, tense, advanced usages. Time expressions, now, at the moment, currently, today, these days, right now, still. Common mistakes. Incorrect. He is believing in God. Correct. He believes in God. Stative verb. Advanced usage. Annoyance with repetition, with always or constantly. He is always complaining about something. She is constantly texting during meetings. Present perfect tense, advanced usages. Time expressions, ever, never, just, already, yet, for, since, so far, until now, up to now. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I have went to the store. Correct. I have gone to the store, past participle. Advanced usage. Talking about accomplishments. They have won 3 championships. Unfinished time periods. I have seen 3 movies this week. The week is still ongoing. Present perfect continuous tense, advanced usages. Time expressions, for, since, all day, lately, recently, how long, the whole time. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I have been knowing him for years. Correct. I have known him for years, stative verb. Advanced usage. Emphasizing duration. I have been working on this project for hours. Action with visible effects. He has been running, that's why he's out of breath. Past simple tense, advanced usages. Time expressions, yesterday, last week, in 2010, 2 days ago, when I was younger. Common mistakes. Incorrect. She didn't went to the store. Correct. She didn't go to the store. Use base form after didn't. Advanced usage. Narrating past events. He entered the room, looked around, and then left without saying a word. Past habits, with used to. We used to live in that neighborhood. Past continuous tense, advanced usages. Time expressions, while, when, as, all night, at 7 p.m., at that time, during. Common mistakes. Incorrect. When I was cooking, I dropped the plate. Correct. While I was cooking, I dropped the plate, past continuous for ongoing action. Advanced usage. Interrupted actions. I was reading a book when the lights went out. Setting the scene. It was raining and the wind was blowing hard as we walked home. Past perfect tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: before, by the time, after, already, when, as soon as. Common mistakes. Incorrect. By the time I arrived, they left. Correct. By the time I arrived, they had left. Advanced usage. Showing the order of events. When I arrived, they had already eaten dinner. Reported speech. She said she had lost her keys. Past perfect continuous tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: for, since, before, until, by the time. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I had been worked there for 5 years before I quit. Correct. I had been working there for 5 years before I quit. Advanced usage. Emphasizing ongoing action. She had been crying for hours before we found her. Duration before another action. They had been living in the house for years when they finally sold it. Future simple tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: tomorrow, next week, soon, in a few days, later. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I will go to the store tomorrow. Correct. I will go to the store tomorrow. Advanced usage. Predictions. I think it will rain later. Spontaneous decisions. I will get some coffee right now. Future continuous tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: this time tomorrow, at 5 p.m., next week, still. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I will be work tomorrow at 9 a.m. Correct. I will be working tomorrow at 9 a.m. Advanced usage. Polite inquiries. Will you be attending the meeting tomorrow? Emphasizing future ongoing action. This time tomorrow, I will be flying to Paris. Future perfect tense, advanced usages. Time expressions: by the time, before, when, until. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I will have finished the report by tomorrow. Correct. I will have finished the report by tomorrow. Advanced usage. Actions completed by a future time. By 2025, I will have completed my degree. In the context of future accomplishments. By the end of the month, she will have saved enough money for the trip. Future perfect continuous tense, advanced usages. Time expressions for, by the time, until, before. Common mistakes. Incorrect. I will have been waiting here since 9 a.m. Correct. I will have been waiting here for 2 hours by the time you arrive. Advanced usage. Duration of future actions. By next year, I will have been working in this company for a decade. Conditional sentences, tenses in conditionals. 1. Zero conditional, present simple plus present simple. Usage, general truths or facts. Example, if you heat water, it boils. 2. First conditional, present simple plus future simple. Usage, real possibilities in the future. Example, if it rains, we will stay inside. 3. Second conditional, past simple plus would could might. Usage, hypothetical or unreal situations in the present future. Example, if I were you, I would study harder. 4. Third conditional, past perfect plus would have plus past participle. Usage, hypothetical situations in the past that didn't happen. Example, if I had known, I would have told you. Passive voice in tenses. 1. Present simple passive. The cake is baked by Mary. 2. Past simple passive. The cake was baked by Mary. 3. Present continuous passive. The cake is being baked by Mary. 4. Past continuous passive. The cake was being baked by Mary. 5. Present perfect passive. The cake has been baked by Mary. 6. Future simple passive. The cake will be baked by Mary. Let's further explore complex grammatical structures involving tenses, including modal verbs in different tenses, future forms beyond the simple future, and reported speech. Additionally, we'll delve into more conditionals and their variants, as well as mixed conditionals, and subtle differences in meaning between some closely related tenses. 1. Modal verbs and tenses. Modal verbs can, could, may, might, must, should, etc. behave differently depending on the tense. Let's explore how modals interact with tenses. Present modals. Can, ability or possibility. Example, I can swim. May, might, possibility. Example, it may rain later. Must, obligation or strong probability. Example, you must finish your homework. Past modals. Could, past ability or hypothetical possibilities. Example, I could run faster when I was younger. Might may have, speculation about past actions. Example, she might have left already. Must have, logical deduction about the past. Example, he must have forgotten the meeting. Should have, criticism or advice about a past action. Example, you should have called me earlier. Future modals. Will, certainty or promise. Example, I will help you tomorrow. Can, could, future possibilities or abilities. Example, we can meet after work. Should, expectation or advice. Example, the meeting should end by 5 p.m. 2. Future forms beyond simple future. There are several ways to express future actions apart from using will. Let's explore different future forms. Future with going to. Usage, plans or intentions that were decided before the moment of speaking, or predictions based on current evidence. Example, I am going to study tonight. Intention. Look at those clouds. It is going to rain. Prediction based on evidence. Present continuous for future. Usage, fixed plans or arrangements in the near future. Example, we are having dinner with them tomorrow night. I am meeting my professor at 3 p.m. Future continuous. Usage, actions that will be ongoing at a specific point in the future. Example, at 9 a.m. tomorrow, I will be sitting in my exam. Future perfect. Usage, actions that will have been completed by a certain time in the future. Example, by the end of the year, I will have finished my thesis. Future in the past, was were going to. Usage, refers to future actions from a past perspective. Example, I was going to call you, but I forgot. They were going to visit, but their plans changed. 3. Reported speech. When converting direct speech into reported speech, tense changes occur depending on whether the reporting verb is in the past. Here's how it works. Tense backshift. Present simple past simple. Direct, I am tired. Reported, she said she was tired. Present continuous past continuous. Direct. I am working. Reported. He said he was working. Past simple past perfect. Direct. I bought a car. Reported. He said he had bought a car. Present perfect past perfect. Direct. I have finished. Reported. She said she had finished. Modals in reported speech. Will would. Direct. I will call you. Reported. She said she would call me. Can could. Direct. I can help you. Reported. He said he could help. No backshift. In cases of general truths or when the reporting verb is in the present. Direct. The earth revolves around the sun. Reported. She says that the earth revolves around the sun. No change because it's a fact. 4 conditional sentences, variants and mixed conditionals. 0 conditional. Usage, real, factual conditions where the result is always true. Structure. If plus present simple, present simple. Example. If you heat ice, it melts. First conditional. Usage, real, possible future situations. Structure. If plus present simple, will plus base form. Example. If it rains, we will cancel the picnic. Second conditional. Usage, hypothetical, unreal situations in the present or future. Structure. If plus past simple, would plus base form. Example. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Third conditional. Usage, unreal past situations, things that didn't happen. Structure. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. Example. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Mixed conditionals. Usage combines different times in the condition and result. 1. Present result of a past condition. If plus past perfect, would plus base form. Example. If I had known about the party, I would be there now. Past condition, present result. 2. Past result of a present condition. If plus past simple, would have plus past participle. Example. If she were more careful, she wouldn't have broken the vase. Present condition, past result. 5. Subtle differences in meaning between related tenses. Present perfect versus past simple. Present perfect emphasizes the connection to the present, while past simple focuses on a completed action in the past. Present perfect. I have lived in New York for 5 years. I still live there. Past simple. I lived in New York for 5 years. I no longer live there. Past simple verses. Past continuous. Past simple is used for completed actions, while past continuous emphasizes ongoing actions at a particular moment in the past. Past simple. I watched a movie last night. The movie is finished. Past continuous. I was watching a movie when she called. The movie was ongoing. Future simple versus future continuous. Future simple is used for decisions made at the moment, promises, or predictions. Future continuous is used to describe an ongoing action in the future. Future simple. I will call you later, promise. Future continuous. I will be working at 9 p.m. tomorrow, an ongoing action at a specific time. Let's continue by delving into even more advanced structures related to tenses, including the use of modal verbs in perfect tenses, subjunctive mood, complex conditionals, and a further exploration of tense aspect combinations in narrative writing and formal language. This section also focuses on discourse-level tense shifts in storytelling and sequence of tenses in embedded clauses. 1. Modal verbs in perfect tenses. Modal verbs can also be used in perfect tenses to express probability, speculation, or criticism about past actions. Here's how different modal verbs function when combined with the present perfect. Modal plus have plus past participle. Could have plus past participle. Usage, suggesting a possibility that didn't happen or speculating about past events. Example. She could have become a doctor, but she chose to be a teacher, possibility that didn't happen. He could have forgotten the meeting, speculation about why something didn't happen. Should have plus past participle. Usage, expressing regret or criticism about something that didn't happen but was expected. Example. I should have called you earlier, regret. You should have finished your homework by now, criticism. Would have plus past participle. Usage, imagining a different outcome in the past, often used in third conditionals. Example. If I had known about the meeting, I would have attended. She would have helped you if you had asked. Might have plus past participle. Usage, speculating about the possibility of something happening in the past. Example. They might have left already. It's possible they have already gone. He might have seen you at the event. Must have plus past participle. Usage. Strong assumption about something that happened in the past. Example. He must have forgotten his keys. Logical assumption based on evidence. They must have been tired after such a long journey. 2. The subjunctive mood and tense usages. The subjunctive mood is used to express hypothetical, non-real situations, wishes, demands, or suggestions. It often requires specific tense combinations to convey its meaning. Present subjunctive. Usage. After verbs like suggest, recommend, demand, or expressions like it's essential important that, the base form of the verb is used, regardless of tense. Example. I recommend that he go to the doctor, not goes. It's essential that she be here on time, not is. Past subjunctive, were. Usage, common in hypothetical or wishful statements. The past subjunctive uses were for all subjects in such cases. Example. If I were you, I would accept the offer. Hypothetical. I wish I were taller. Wish. Past perfect subjunctive. Usage, used to express wishes or hypothetical situations in the past, often following wish or if only. Example. I wish I had known about the event earlier, but I didn't know. If only she had studied more, she would have passed the exam. She didn't study enough. 3. Complex conditionals and inverted conditionals. Inverted conditionals. Instead of using if, conditionals can sometimes be expressed with an inverted structure to sound more formal or literary. 0 conditional inversion. Normal. If water freezes, it turns into ice. Inverted. Should water freeze, it turns into ice. First conditional inversion. Normal. If it rains, I will stay inside. Inverted. Should it rain, I will stay inside. Second conditional inversion. Normal. If I were rich, I would travel the world. Inverted. Were I rich, I would travel the world. Third conditional inversion. Normal. If I had studied, I would have passed the exam. Inverted. Had I studied, I would have passed the exam. Mixed conditionals revisited. Mixed conditionals allow for even more complex time relationships between the condition and result. Present result of a past condition. If I had taken that job, I would be living in New York now. Past condition, present result. Past result of a present condition. If she weren't so shy, she would have made more friends in school. Present condition, past result. 4 tense shifts in narrative writing, discourse level tense usage. When telling a story, writers often shift between tenses depending on the narrative flow and focus. Understanding how and when to shift tenses allows for greater control over tone and meaning. General guidelines for tense shifts. 1. Past simple is typically used for narrating events in the past. Example, I walked into the room and saw her sitting there. 2. Past perfect is used to refer to events that happened before the main action. Example, she had already left by the time I arrived. 3. Past continuous is used for background actions. Example, while I was walking home, it started to rain. 4. Present tense can be used to add immediacy to storytelling, even in writing about past events. Example, so I opened the door, and there she is, standing right in front of me. Tense shifts for flashbacks. In narrative writing, especially in novels, tense shifts are crucial for flashbacks or memories. Present story, past memory. Present, she sits by the window, thinking about her childhood. Past, back then, she lived in a small village, where the air was fresh and the days were long. 5. Sequence of tenses in embedded clauses. When reporting or embedding statements within other sentences, it's important to observe sequence of tenses to maintain consistency. Basic rule. When the main clause is in a past tense, the verb in the dependent, embedded, clause must also shift to a corresponding past form. Present tense to past tense. Direct, she said, I am tired. Reported, she said she was tired. Future to conditional. Direct, he said, I will help you tomorrow. Reported, he said he would help me the next day. Present perfect to past perfect. Direct, she said, I have finished the project. Reported, she said she had finished the project. Exceptions. If the action in the embedded clause is still true or relevant in the present, tense shifting might not be necessary. Example. Direct, the earth is round. Reported, he said the earth is round. General truth, no shift. 6 tense combinations for formal and academic writing. In academic writing, correct use of tenses is crucial for clarity and precision. Here's how different tenses can be used depending on the context. Present simple for stating facts or general truths. Example: water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Present perfect for referring to recent research or events relevant to the current discussion. Example: recent studies have shown that climate change affects biodiversity. Past simple for referring to specific research completed in the past. Example: in 2003, Smith conducted a study on the effects of sleep deprivation. Future simple for discussing implications or future research. Example: this experiment will provide insights into the relationship between diet and health. 7. Special uses of tenses for emphasis and hypothetical situations. Emphatic structures with tenses. In informal speech, we can use tenses emphatically to show surprise, anger, or amazement. Present simple for emphasis. Example: he does know the answer. Emphatic: does. Past simple for storytelling or exaggeration. Example: I did see him at the party, believe me. Future in the past for hypotheticals. We use the future in the past to describe future events from a past point of view, often in hypothetical scenarios or in direct speech. Example: we were going to meet at 5 p.m., but she cancelled. He said he would be coming to the party. This detailed guide now covers even more advanced aspects of English tenses, including perfect modals, the subjunctive mood, discourse level tense shifts, and their application in narrative and formal writing. These structures are key for mastering nuanced, sophisticated grammar usage. Let's now explore even more advanced aspects of tense usage, focusing on specialized structures, tense aspect mood combinations, conditional variations, and some subtle uses of tenses in specific contexts like politeness, hypothetical expressions, and academic writing. 1. Tense aspect mood combinations. In English, tense, aspect, and mood can combine in complex ways to express not only time, but also duration, intention, attitude, and likelihood. Let's break down how these elements come together. Aspect refers to how an action relates to time, in terms of its completeness or ongoing nature. The two main aspects in English are progressive, continuous emphasizes that an action is ongoing. Perfect emphasizes that an action is completed or has relevance to another time. Mood refers to the attitude conveyed by the speaker, and it includes indicative, used for statements of fact. Imperative, used for commands. Subjunctive, used for hypothetical or non-real situations. Combining tense aspect mood. Present perfect continuous. Usage, to indicate an action that started in the past and continues in the present or has just finished, emphasizing duration. Example: I have been working on this project for 3 hours, ongoing action starting in the past. Past perfect continuous. Usage, to show a continuous action that was happening up to a specific point in the past. Example: he had been studying for 2 hours before his friends arrived, ongoing action interrupted by another event. Future perfect continuous. Usage, used to describe an action that will have been continuing up until a certain point in the future. Example: by next July, I will have been living here for 5 years. Conditional perfect continuous. Usage, used in hypothetical situations to describe a continuous action that would have been happening if a condition had been met. Example: if you had called earlier, I would have been waiting for you. 2 advanced uses of conditionals: politeness, suggestions, and hypotheticals. Polite conditionals. Conditionals are often used to soften requests or suggestions to sound more polite. Example: I would appreciate it if you could help me with this task, polite request. If you would like, I can bring some refreshments, polite suggestion. Hypotheticals with conditionals. Conditionals often express hypothetical or unlikely situations. They are key in expressing situations that are either unreal or imagined. Hypothetical present, second conditional. Usage, to talk about unlikely or impossible situations in the present or future. Example: if I were you, I would accept the offer, hypothetical advice. If we had more time, we could visit the museum, imagined situation. Hypothetical past, third conditional. Usage, to talk about hypothetical situations in the past that didn't happen. Example: if I had known, I would have helped you. I didn't know, so I didn't help. If she had studied, she might have passed the exam. She didn't study, so she failed. Advanced mixed conditionals. You can mix second and third conditionals to express a present result of a past action or a past result of a present condition. Example: past action, present result. If I had saved more money, I would be traveling right now. I didn't save, so I can't travel now. Example, present condition, past result. If she weren't so stubborn, she would have apologized. Her stubbornness prevented her from apologizing in the past. 3. Time clauses and complex sentence structures with tenses. Time clauses are used to show when something happens and are typically introduced by conjunctions like when, after, before, until, as soon as, while, and since. Future tense in time clauses. In English, future tenses, like will, are not used in time clauses even when referring to future events. Instead, present tenses are used. Example: correct. I will call you when I get home, not when I will get home. Correct. As soon as I finish, I'll help you, not as soon as I will finish. Past perfect in time clauses. The past perfect is often used in time clauses to indicate that one action was completed before another in the past. Example: after she had finished her homework, she went to bed. When I had eaten dinner, I started working again. Past continuous in time clauses. The past continuous is used to describe a background action that was happening when another action interrupted it. Example: she was reading a book when the phone rang. While they were waiting, it started to rain. 4. Politeness and tense use in requests and offers. Tense usage plays a key role in politeness, especially in formal and business contexts. Here's how tenses change to create more polite and formal requests or suggestions. Present simple for direct requests. Example: can you help me? Direct and informal. Past tense for politeness. Using the past tense softens the tone and makes the request more polite. Example: could you help me? More polite. I was wondering if you could help me with this. Even more polite. Would like for offers. Using would and would like sounds more formal and polite when offering assistance or making requests. Example: would you like some coffee? I would appreciate it if you could provide more information. Past perfect for even greater politeness. In very formal or deferential requests, the past perfect can be used to show extreme politeness and deference, especially in written communication. Example: I would have appreciated it if you had informed me of the meeting earlier. 5. Tense consistency and shifts in academic writing. In academic writing, maintaining tense consistency is crucial for clarity. However, certain tenses are used for different purposes, so it's important to know when and how to shift tenses effectively. Present tense for general truths. The present simple is used for stating general truths or scientific facts. Example: water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The study finds that students perform better in smaller classes. Present perfect for recent research. The present perfect is used to discuss research that has been recently completed and is relevant to the current discussion. Example: recent studies have shown that exercise improves mental health. Researchers have found that climate change affects weather patterns. Past tense for specific studies or historical data. The past simple is used to refer to completed studies, experiments, or events that are no longer happening. Example: in 1998, Smith conducted a study on sleep patterns. The experiment was performed last year. Tense shifts for hypothetical or future research. When discussing implications of future research, the future simple or modal verbs like would are used. Example: this study will provide insights into the effects of diet on health. Future research might focus on expanding the sample size. 6. Subtle uses of tense in reported speech. In reported speech, tense back-shifting depends on whether the reporting verb is in the present or past. However, subtle uses of tense changes occur when dealing with general truths or events that are still relevant. General truths. When reporting general truths, the tense often does not change, even if the reporting verb is in the past. Example: direct, the sun rises in the east. Reported, he said the sun rises in the east, no backshift. Events still relevant in the present. When the event being reported is still relevant or true at the time of reporting, there may be no backshift. Example: direct, I live in London. Reported, she said she lives in London, still true, so no change. Reported speech with modal verbs. When reporting speech that contains modal verbs, the modals also shift in time. Example: direct, I will go to the meeting. Reported, he said he would go to the meeting. This guide now delves into some of the most nuanced and complex areas of tense usage, including tense aspect mood combinations, sophisticated uses of conditionals, polite structures, time clauses, and advanced tense shifts in both formal writing and everyday conversations. Let's now go even deeper into some advanced and nuanced aspects of English tenses, including tense choices in literature, journalism, and poetry, specialized usage of tenses for emphasis and rhetoric, as well as comparative structures and nuances in past narrative tenses. These areas are particularly useful for learners or users of English aiming to reach a very high level of mastery, including academic or creative writing contexts. 1. Tense shifts in literature and storytelling. In creative writing, especially literature and narrative fiction, authors often use strategic shifts in tense to engage readers or to convey different layers of time, memory, and perspective. Present tense for immediacy in stories. The present simple tense can be used in storytelling to make the narrative feel more immediate, as though the events are unfolding in real time. This is common in modern literature and is sometimes called the narrative present. Example: She walks into the room. Everything is just as she left it. He sits in the corner, not moving. Using the present tense in narrative writing makes the action feel urgent and ongoing, placing the reader directly in the scene. Past tense in traditional narratives. The past simple is the most common tense for storytelling, especially in traditional narrative forms like novels and short stories. It provides a sense of completed events, creating a clear sense of time progression. Example: She entered the house quietly, knowing that something was wrong. The room was cold, and the air felt heavy. Mixing present and past tenses for flashbacks. Authors often shift between the past and present to distinguish between the current timeline and memories or flashbacks. This technique can help the reader understand the difference in narrative time. Example: Present: Now, she sits in the empty room, staring at the old photo. Past: Years ago, she used to laugh in this very spot, surrounded by friends and family. 2. Advanced uses of the present perfect and past perfect in journalism. Journalists use specific tense strategies to convey time-related nuances, such as the present perfect to show ongoing relevance or the past perfect to establish a timeline of events. Present perfect in journalism. In news reporting, the present perfect is often used to describe events that happened recently and continue to have relevance to the present moment, especially in breaking news. Example: The government has announced new measures to combat inflation. The announcement has immediate relevance. Several protests have erupted in the capital over the past 24 hours. Past perfect to clarify event sequences. The past perfect is essential in news articles for describing actions that occurred before a referenced past event. This tense is useful for creating a clear timeline. Example: before the earthquake struck, officials had warned residents to evacuate the area. The company had already started testing the product before the issue became public. 3. Rhetorical use of tenses in speeches and essays. In persuasive writing or speeches, different tenses can emphasize particular points or ideas. Shifting tenses allows the speaker or writer to manipulate the perception of time, making certain ideas feel more immediate or permanent. Present tense for timeless statements. Using the present simple can give statements a sense of timelessness, making them appear as universal truths or irrefutable facts. Example: democracy thrives when citizens participate fully in their government. Courage is the foundation of every great movement. Past tense for historical reflection. The past simple is useful in speeches when reflecting on past achievements or failures. It gives a sense of finality and offers lessons from past experiences. Example: we fought for freedom and we won. Let us never forget the sacrifices that were made. They tried and they failed, but we can learn from their mistakes. Future tense for inspiration and vision. The future tense is often used in motivational speeches to inspire hope or convey a vision of a better future. Example: together, we will create a better world, one where justice and equality prevail. This is just the beginning. We will continue our fight for fairness and truth. 4. Tense nuances in comparative structures. Comparative structures sometimes require subtle use of tenses, especially when comparing hypothetical scenarios or complex situations across time. Comparative conditionals. When comparing to possible outcomes in the past, present, or future, tenses must align correctly to reflect the intended meaning. Example: past to present comparison. If I had studied harder in school, I would be more successful now. Comparing past action to present result. Example: present to future comparison. If I work hard now, I will achieve my goals later. Present action leading to future result. Hypothetical comparisons. When comparing hypothetical situations in the present or future, Conditionals and tense combinations help clarify time relationships. Example: if she were more diligent, she would have finished her work already. Present condition affecting past result. 5. Past narrative tenses. Subtle differences. In storytelling, especially when describing past events, the choice between past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous can create important nuances in meaning. Here's how these subtle differences play out. Past simple versus past continuous. The past simple describes completed actions, while the past continuous sets the scene or describes ongoing actions in the past. Past simple emphasizes the action as a finished event. Example: I walked into the room. Simple action. Past continuous emphasizes the duration or background of the action. Example: I was walking into the room when I heard a noise. Ongoing action interrupted by something. Past perfect versus past simple. The past perfect shows that one action happened before another past event, while the past simple places two events on the same timeline. Past perfect. Example: by the time I arrived, they had left. They left before I arrived. Past simple. Example: I arrived at 6 p.m. and they left at 6:05 p.m. Both events are simple past actions. Past perfect continuous. This tense describes an ongoing action that was happening up until another past event. Example: he had been waiting for an hour before she showed up. 6. Advanced tense sequences in formal academic writing. In academic and technical writing, maintaining tense consistency and using the appropriate tense to express different types of information is essential. Present simple for universal truths or current understanding. Example: the earth revolves around the sun. Universal truth. This study shows that early intervention improves outcomes in children. Present perfect for ongoing research or relevance. Example: researchers have demonstrated that climate change affects global temperatures. Ongoing relevance. The author has argued that these findings are still applicable today. Past simple for completed research. Example: the experiment was conducted in 2018. The participants completed the survey last week. Future tense for predictions or future research. Example: future research will focus on the long-term effects of this phenomenon. It is expected that the new policy will improve employee satisfaction. Tense shifts in hypotheses and discussions. When discussing hypotheses or potential outcomes, tense shifts are common to distinguish between hypothetical scenarios and real-world observations. Example: if the theory holds, this would suggest a new approach to solving the problem. 7. Poetic and creative tense manipulation. In poetry and highly creative writing, authors often manipulate tenses to create emotional impact, heighten drama, or challenge conventional structures. Poetic license allows for deliberate tense shifts that can evoke certain moods or meanings. Present tense in poetry. The present simple can evoke timelessness or directness in poetry. Example: the sun sets, the sky burns, and my heart waits for you. Past tense for reflection. The past tense in poetry can create a reflective or nostalgic tone. Example: once we danced beneath the stars, our laughter filling the night air. Future tense for hope or longing. The future tense is often used to express longing, hope, or anticipation. Example: one day you will return and we will stand side by side again. This final section of the guide delves into the highest level usages of tenses, covering their application in literature, journalism, speeches, and even poetry. These complex forms of tense usage are essential for mastering the subtleties of language, whether for professional, academic, or creative purposes. Accent English language. Please do not forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.